Hi guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be talking about the Militado ML02. Watch Dives, they sent me this watch for free. I don't have to send the watch back, but you guys know the deal by now. It's not going to sway my review one way or another. I'm going to keep it honest with you every single time. And if by the end of this review you want to pick one of these up, head down to the video description. I'm going to be leaving a link there. That is an affiliate link. I'm now an affiliate with Watch Dives, so I do get a little bit of a kickback if you use that link. That just allows me to keep getting watches from Watch Dives on this channel, so I really do appreciate it. All that money goes right back into the channel. The retail price for this watch is $68 US. That's before any taxes, sales, or coupons. I do have $10 off code, which I will leave right here. I believe that only works on orders over $150. So you're going to have to buy a couple watches to get it over that price. But if you do that, use that code, you can save 10 bucks. The watch comes in 5 different colorways that you can see on screen now. There should be something for everyone. I think they all look really good. The watch case is made of 316L stainless steel. It has a sapphire crystal with AR coating, screw down crown, screw down case back, 100 meters of claimed water resistance, and the watch is powered by the Seiko VD78 quartz movement. So if you guys aren't aware, this is an homage piece to the 1926 Rolex Oyster. It's a watch that is all but unattainable for us layman folk. The surface costs are probably through the roof. So Militado, they took it upon themselves to recreate this watch for the modern world. So how did they do? Well, let's dig in. Let's find out. But before we do a quick wrist check. Wearing a new Phoebus. I don't even know the model name on this thing. I should have looked that up before I did. I'll put it up here on screen. But this one is coming to the channel very soon. Should be launching in the next few days. So yeah, this thing is just gorgeous. Okay, so let's talk about dimensions. We've got a diameter of 36.1 millimeters. Got a case height of 12 millimeters, 18 millimeter lug width, lug to lug of 43.1 millimeters, and on the supplied leather strap, it weighs 51 grams. So I think the size on this thing is perfect for this style of watch. It's a very old school watch, and I believe the original one was probably even smaller than this one. But really, really happy with the size on this thing, 12 millimeters thick, and that's with the crystal. It doesn't appear that. You can see the mid case on this thing is just a razor thin. The case back kind of sinks into the wrist. So this thing just, I mean, it just kind of vanishes on wrist. It's really lightweight, super thin, and it just wears good. It wears a little bit bigger than a 36 just because it's more of a cushion case. But yeah, I think it does look really, really good. So I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here we are on my 7.5 inch wrist, and as you can see, it is pretty tiny, but being square, it makes it wear a little bit bigger than a normal 36 millimeter watch. And I mean, just the size of this thing with the style, I think it works. Normally, you know, I'm not a big fan of 36 millimeter watches, but this one works pretty good. You can see there, like I said, a flat case, but it's so thin, it just kind of vanishes on wrist. It looks really good. You can see underneath this oak tree, no issues reading it, plenty of AR coating on the crystal, and overall a very shiny but really beautiful case. And popping out in some direct sunlight, you can see no issues with reflections. Again, super easy to read this thing. The blue hands, they look great. You can kind of see that bicolored dial there, looking really good. Lots of bling off of the bezel and off the case. I just think it looks really good. What do you guys think of that? Let me just look at how low profile that is. I don't like the strap though, so let's go throw it on some other ones. And here we are on a black leather strap. This is kind of a matte leather strap. This is actually 19 millimeters just stuffed in. I don't have many 18 millimeter straps, sadly, but yeah, this is probably what I would go with if I was going to get one. I think the matte black looks really good on this. Kind of brings out the vintage vibes to it. And yeah, I think it looks good. And I just had a Vario watch delivered, and it actually came with some 18 millimeter straps. So this is a Vario leather strap. I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think of that one? And here we are on a black canvas strap. This is the other one that came on my Vario. So I think that actually looks pretty good. I still like that black leather one. I'm going to go throw it on one more strap and we'll get back to this review. And lastly, here we are on a nylon strap. Dark blue, matches those hands really nicely. There's 2 layers underneath the watch, and it's still super slim on wrist. Just lightweight, feels great, looks good. I like it a lot. All right, let's go back inside. Let's get back to this review. And so let's talk about the case finishing. So the case finishing, it is fully polished. There isn't a single brushed accent on this thing that I can see. But the case polishing, as you can see up here in this corner here, I'm looking at it, really nice and smooth. They just did a very good job. You can see the coin edge bezel, again, getting up real close. You can see the detail on that thing is just excellent. Really, really happy with that. It kind of catches the light. It looks really cool. Again, working our way to the case sides here, fully polished. And they just did a good job with it. Even, I mean, there's super small areas of the case, but they did a good job polishing this thing. I think it looks really good. Flipping over to the crown side here, you can see we do have an unsigned crown. Pretty good sized crown for this style of watch, 6.3 millimeters, but really nice onion style crown. It looks fantastic. Plenty of grip on it as well. You can see it kind of sits on top of the case there. It doesn't tuck in at all. Yeah, lots and lots of grip. You can see when you look at the side profile here, you kind of have that same coin edge on the bottom there. It's just a really cool overall look. Polishing on the bottom of the lugs as well. Polished case back. Everything on this thing is polished. So yeah, it's going to pick up scratches, as you can see there. I've hardly worn this watch and it's going to pick up scratches. I don't really care about that on the case back. The case itself seems to be fine though. So overall, I'm very happy with the case finishing on this thing. I think they did a really good job on it, especially, I mean, for the price, you cannot complain at all. All right, so let's talk about the crystal. We'll test it for sapphire. You can see it is sapphire. So that surprised me. It is a sapphire crystal. I thought at this price point, that's got to be mineral, and it's also a really good crystal. So the fact that it is sapphire and it has AR coating on it and it's that good really just kind of blew me away. $68 for a watch with a crystal like this. That is incredible. You can see here, it's a box dome, double dome. As you can see there, it's not really flat in the middle. It does dome up. But yeah, really nice. Lots of distortion on the edges there. The clear AR coating does a great job keeping that dial nice and crisp and legible. I mean, it's a fantastic crystal on a cheap watch like this. They did an excellent job. All right, so let's talk about the dial on this thing. So the dial is fully printed. You can see it's a matte white, and then it has this cream circle on the inside, which I really, really do like. It looks pretty cool. You have a printed minute railroad track around the outside, and then Roman numerals at all the hour markers. Everything is laid out nice and clean and crisp. The printing is just really good. No issues with that. It looks excellent. There's no loom on it or anything like that, so we don't have to worry about the loom. The handset on it, really, really interesting. Very cool. And pretty much a direct copy of what Rolex did back in 1926. So a very cool handset. You can see here, they're not painted blue. I don't think they are heated blue either. They're probably like a PVD coated blue or maybe a chemical blue, but either way, I think they look pretty good. Most of the time they just look black, but then they do catch the light like that, and you can see really nicely done. There's no fluff under the dial or anything like that. Everything is just applied nicely. The hands are aligned nicely. You have your Militado branding there, which I know some people are gonna not like, especially on a watch like this, but it is what it is. I think the logo looks fine. As an American, it doesn't bother me at all, but I know some people are going to be bothered by that. Down here, you have your sub-second hand there. The subdial does have a concentric circle pattern, as you can see there, and then it's got the outer ring divided up into 10-minute increments, which is pretty cool looking. Again, that little hand there is that same blue treatment, as you can kind of see there. Everything looks really good. I've got no issues with the dial on this thing. It's all centered nicely. Alignment looks good. The hand size is really good. Really interesting handset, and I do like it a lot. I love that kind of dual tone. Yeah, I think it just looks really, really cool. All right, so let's talk about the movement in this thing. This is the Seiko VD78. I believe it's like a 3-year battery life, plus or minus 20 seconds per month is the typical range of a movement like this. I think this one has been running within, I've had the watch for 2 weeks now, and it's within 1 second. So I've got no issues with the accuracy on this thing. I have a feeling this movement is going to last a very long time. Everything functions as it should. The movement is operated by this 3 o'clock screw down crown. Nice, big, grippy crown. Plenty of grip, nice smooth screw in and screw out action. Get a decent pop out as well. First position does nothing. Second position jumps right into the time setting. It does hack the movement there, and this is where you set your time. Yeah, everything functions as it should. You don't get the hands jumping around or anything like that when you push it back in. Again, nice, smooth screw in action. Don't feel like I'm ever going to cross thread this or anything like that. Yeah, no issues with the crown, no issues with the movement in a watch at this price point. The Seiko movement is excellent. I've got no issues with it at all. All right, so let's talk about the strap on this thing. So the strap is the typical Militado strap. This is kind of where they skimp out a little bit. It's not a horrible strap, but it's definitely not a good strap at all. 18 millimeters, tapers down to 16. It's a decent length as well. I'm kind of right here, so I don't think you're going to put this on any much bigger wrists than mine. So I think the strap length is fine. It's a little bit stiff, but it does conform to the wrist. You have a bead blasted buckle, which is just an afterthought. I mean, they could at least put a polished buckle on this thing. One floating keeper, one stationary keeper, minimal stitching. It looks fine. I think a black strap without any stitching would probably look even better. But you know, this is where you are seeing the price come into effect a little bit. The straps are just not great. They say genuine leather on the bottom of them, no quick release or anything like that. But yeah, it's a fine strap. It's about what I expected for the price of the watch. But I would definitely set aside about $10 and just, you know, prepare to buy a different strap for this thing. So there you go, guys. That is the Militado ML02, a beautiful homage to a watch that is unattainable. It's great, absolutely fantastic. The price, $68. Really just kind of blew me away when I tested that for sapphire, and it was actually sapphire. That crystal is probably like $20-30 on its own. You know, it's got a Seiko movement inside, a great crystal, really clean dial, just killer classic looks, a good size for people with smaller wrists. I think anyone who buys this thing is going to be kind of blown away by it, and they're going to really like it. I've enjoyed my time with it as well. It's just a little bit too small for me, but I'm still going to keep it around for at least a little while and enjoy it while I can. But yeah, I do really like it, guys. It is a great watch for the price. I think that's it for me. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.